When Life Gets Tough, a story of persistence and triumph. In a bustling city filled with the noise of ambition and dreams, there was a man named Marcus. He wasn't rich, nor did he come from a family of great wealth or influence. His life, at first glance, seemed ordinary. Another face in the crowd, another person trying to make a living in a world that demanded much and gave little in return. But beneath his calm exterior, Marcus carried a fire, a dream that burned bright even in the darkest times. For years, Marcus worked as a mechanic in a small garage. It wasn't glamorous work, but he loved it. There was something about fixing things, making them work again, that gave him a sense of purpose. But as time went on, the weight of his circumstances began to weigh him down. The world seemed to move faster than he could keep up with. Bills piled up. His friends told him to be realistic and settle for what he had, but Marcus wasn't the type to give up so easily. One evening, as he closed the garage for the night, he walked past a small bookstore on the corner of the street. The sign read, "Follow your dreams." It was a simple message, but something in those words caught his attention. Marcus stepped inside, drawn to a book displayed on a wooden shelf. It was an old, worn-out book with the title, "The Power of Persistence." He picked it up, feeling the weight of it in his hands. He sat down on a chair, flipped open the first page, and began to read. The story was about a man named Samuel, a poor farmer who lived in a small village on the edge of a vast desert. Samuel had always dreamed of owning a successful farm, but year after year, his crops failed, and the soil was dry. The people in his village laughed at him, calling him a fool for trying to grow crops in such an unforgiving land. "Give up, Samuel," they would say. "You're wasting your time." But Samuel didn't listen. Despite the failure, despite the ridicule, he continued to work the land every day, planting seeds, nurturing them with care. Seasons passed, and his crops still withered. The villagers grew more and more convinced that Samuel was destined to fail. Yet, Samuel never wavered. He worked harder, tried new methods, and kept his vision alive, no matter how difficult it became. Then, one day, after years of struggle, something miraculous happened. The rains came, and the soil, which had been barren for so long, began to bloom. Samuel's farm flourished, and he became the wealthiest and most respected man in the village. He had never given up, never allowed the tough times to define him. His persistence had turned his dream into reality. As Marcus read these words, something deep within him stirred. He closed the book and sat in silence for a long time, reflecting on what he had just learned. Samuel's story was not just about farming or success, it was about not giving up, no matter how hard life got. Marcus realized that his own struggles, his own dreams, were not so different from Samuel's. The only difference was that he had been on the verge of quitting. The next morning, Marcus made a decision. He would no longer let the setbacks define him. He would keep pushing forward, no matter how difficult it seemed. He enrolled in an evening course to learn about business and entrepreneurship, something he had always wanted to explore but had been too afraid to pursue. He worked during the day and studied at night, sacrificing sleep and leisure for his dreams. Months passed, and progress was slow. There were moments when Marcus felt like giving up, when the weight of his ambition felt too heavy to carry. But every time doubt crept in, he remembered Samuel's story. He thought of the barren fields, the endless hours of hard work, and the eventual triumph that came not from luck, but from persistence. And then, one day, after years of relentless effort, Marcus's life began to change. Garage he had worked in for so long became a thriving business, and he expanded into a new venture, one that he had dreamed of for years, opening his own auto repair school. He wanted to teach others the same skills that had given him purpose. He wanted to give others the hope that they too could succeed, even when life seemed impossible. As Marcus looked back on his journey, he realized that the key to success was never about avoiding failure. It was about how you respond to it. Life will always throw challenges your way. The road to success is not a straight line, but a series of twists, turns, and obstacles. But if you stay true to your vision, if you continue to work and push through the tough times, success will find you. The story of Samuel the farmer had taught Marcus one invaluable lesson. When life gets tough, don't give up. The rain may not come when you want it to, but persistence will always lead to a breakthrough.